Andrew Staggs here. I don't know about you, I just get so sad at least once a year when someone I know and love, a great leader, has shot themselves in the foot, done something wrong, and they're no longer there leading and doing epic things anymore. So I picked up recently this great book by Blackaby and Blackaby called Spiritual Leadership, and in it it's a really sad chapter where it lists out 10 pitfalls of leadership, 10 challenge areas, 10 minefields. And here's the sad and sorry list right now. Number 1, pride. 2, sexual sin. Number 3, cynicism. Then there's greed, mental laziness, oversensitivity, spiritual lethargy, domestic neglect, administrative carelessness, and then prolonged position holding. I found the chapter on mental laziness absolutely fascinating. It included reflections by the greats, global evangelists D.L. Moody and Billy Graham, and they reflected on their lack of study and preparation for their great days of ongoing influence. At the apex of D.L. Moody's success, he realized his mind had grown stagnant. He was leading enormously successful evangelistic campaigns in Great Britain and the United States, and he'd become one of the most famous religious leaders of his day. But he grew spiritually and intellectually malnourished. He was continually preaching, but he was not learning. Moody's biographer, John Pollock, notes, "At the moment of reaching a height of influence in the United States, he stood on the danger of spiritual insolvency." Moody had realized that he had told people everything he knew and he had nothing fresh to say. Moody then confessed, "My lack of education has always been a great disadvantage to me. I shall suffer from it as long as I live." Moody moved to Northfield and refused to accept major speaking engagements until he studied enough to gain fresh, new insights from God's Word to share with people. He set a rigid schedule that included 6 hours of study every morning. Even after he commenced traveling again, he carried a small library with him. He was determined that despite the press of people and responsibilities upon his time, he could not afford to stop learning if he was to be an effective spiritual leader. Likewise, Billy Graham noted as one of his regrets that he was too often improperly prepared for his speaking assignments. He confessed, "I have failed many times and I would do many things differently. For one thing, I would speak less and study more." The idea of growing, reading, unlearning, thinking and learning well, all of these on a regular basis, that's the antidote to mental laziness and intellectual stagnation. Go well, friend.